later died after
Hello and welcome all to the Ben the Bobbian podcast. Today's podcast will be about the NBA draft and the New York Knicks' most recent acquisitions. Starting off with the Knicks, as everyone knows, the Knicks yesterday traded for Chicago Bulls point guard Derrick Rose by giving up Jerry Grant, second-year guard out of Notre Dame, and Robin Lopez and Jose Calderon, and getting back also Justin Holiday and a second-round pick next year. In terms of this helping this team this year, there's really nothing for it. Rose will play 40 to 50 games max. You call him a point guard, and I know the Knicks need a point guard, so everyone keeps saying, but I think what everyone thinks of a point guard isn't really what a point guard is. Look at the Cavs, for instance. You think Kyrie Irving is their point guard because he's the shortest player. Their point guard is LeBron James. Tonight, the Sixers are drafting Ben Simmons, the number one pick in the draft. He's a 6'9", they say forward. He'll be their point guard. Why is that? Because the guy that has the ball in his hands, that's assisting the ball, that's getting other people involved, that's the point guard of the team. It doesn't matter how tall or short he is. The guy that has the ball in his hands most of the time and is distributing the ball to most of his players. Derrick Rose isn't that type of player. He's just, he's more of a one-on-one type of scorer. He's more of a Kyrie Irving type of player, and that unlike Kyrie Irving, he had the great handle and his crazy athleticism, which was elite on Westbrook's level. He lost that, which took away a big part of his game, and it's not like he's gonna ever get that back. So he is what he is right now. He's gonna be a 16 points, 5 assists type of guy, and his defense isn't even as good as you would hope, and it wasn't as good as it was in his MVP year when he put up 25 and 8. That's the year that you thought he'd be for the rest of his career, but since then his numbers have gone drastically down, obviously because he got hurt, and those days are behind him. I mean, he's had 3 straight years where he's averaged less than 5 assists a game. He's just not a point guard anymore. He's not like he can distribute the ball. Now, again, this isn't a long-term trade, so it's not really a big deal. He won't be on the team after this year. Either he blows up and he wants a big contract, which they won't give him, or he's just not good and we let him go regardless. But again, we got rid of that Robin Lopez contract, which I know a lot of my friends out there, like Joel, are big Robin Lopez fans, but let's be honest here, he sucks dick. He's really bad. He's a replacement-level center, and he looks like a retard. And a team like the Knicks that right now is rebuilding, they're not trying to win a championship this year. My other friend Jay keeps putting together these dream teams of thinking it's going to compete this year. It's not going to happen. We have to build for the next 2-3 years. That means building around one player only, Porzingis. Do things to make him better. Does Rose make him better? No. Rose and Anthony are both ball-dominant guys that are going to, if anything, make Kristaps regress. But was this a good move for the future of the Knicks? I do think so, because I think the future is the 2017 offseason. That offseason, we have a pick, and as of now, we're going to have like $45, $50 million in cap space that year. We can sign 2 mega free agents. And that year, I'm assuming LeBron will be a free agent, Westbrook will be a free agent, and most probably Durant will be a free agent also, because he's going to sign a 1 year with an opt-out, plus a bunch of other players also. That's the offseason they should target. And we have, again, like I said, we have a first-round pick. This year should be more about a building year. Get Porzingis' confidence up, and try to build some players around him. Maybe, we don't, but unfortunately, the only problem with this team is that because of the recent trades, we have no assets left whatsoever. We have no picks this year. Our youngest players are Porzingis and Hernan Gomez, which we had never seen play before. So, again, what's going to do for us if we go sign Conley right now? What are we going to do? Win 10 more games, lose in the first round of playoffs, then what? Next year, you think LeBron's going to come play here with Conley and Porzingis? No. You got to build a team around Porzingis. You have to have the assets around Porzingis. If LeBron sees you have a top 3 pick and Porzingis and another spot for another free agent, that's more of a driving force. So that's my mentality on the Knicks. This year should be a wash. It should be a tank year. I don't care what anyone says. Get the top 3 pick. Have 2 slots for a mega contract guy to come here to play with Porzingis. And I guess you could say Melo also, but even though I'd love to trade Melo for an asset also, but regardless of that. And, see where we go from there. Now, after the Knicks, we're in the NBA draft. As many people know, the first pick of the draft is going to be the forward out of LSU, Ben Simmons. I've watched a lot of college basketball, but I'm not a big Ben Simmons guy. He's got crazy talent. He's got crazy ability. He's going to be a 6'9" point guard. That's what he's going to be. He can get to the rim. He can score. His shot isn't there because you never saw him shoot. I think he attempted only 3 3-pointers last year, but they say in practice he can't shoot the ball, and they say he can defend also. Now I keep, and that's something that on the Sixers team where everyone thinks he can't play with Noel and Okafor. If they don't trade Noel and Okafor, then I don't see why they can't play together. If Noel and Okafor are down low and he can play on defense, he should be able to guard a guard, and on offense. Again, he's not going to be a post-up player down low. He gets the ball at a wing or top of the key, and he can make things happen. But regardless, we'll see what happens with them. But the reason why I don't like him is because of what he was in college. He just didn't win. Guys like Durant and Blake Griffin who had monster freshman years in college and came out the first pick of the draft, their teams made the tourney. They played well. They won 25 games, whatever it was. This LSU team has struggled all year. And you can say it's the team, you can say it's the coach, and I agree with you. I just didn't like his mentality this year. I feel like he didn't care. I feel like he was looking to the pros too much. I even didn't like that he pretty much said he wanted to play for the Lakers and not for the Sixers. His character I want to say his maturity wasn't there. I don't think he has the LeBron James in him, where LeBron James is just like a consummate winner or this and that. I don't think he has it in him yet. I might be wrong. That's the one thing that kind of draws me back about him. Because athletically, he's there. But it's just that he doesn't have that winning mentality that I like about him. Now, Lakers' second pick is taking Brandon Ingram, a guy from Duke. He's a smooth shooter, and he's long. He's athletic. He can defend if he wants to, but he wasn't asked to last year. But he can get his own shot. They compare him to Kevin Durant. I think it's obviously because Kevin Durant's range is out to wazoo. His range isn't there yet. Some people compare him to McGrady. He's not as athletic as McGrady is. He's a very good player. He had a very good year last year at Duke, and I think he fits in well with Lakers in that 2-3 slot. If they keep what's his name at the 1, and they have Randall at the 4, and other pieces here and there. Now the Celtics at 3. This is what I wanted to talk about. A lot of people have them taking Chris Dunn. A lot of people have them trading this pick. Some people say they're trading this pick for Chris Middleton. I don't understand that whatsoever. Middleton's a nice player, but he's not a star. Celtics don't need to put together 2 more nice players to have 8 nice players and see what's going to happen for them. What they're missing is a star. Now, in the past 30, 40, 50 years of this NBA, I can only remember one team winning a title without a superstar. I think the Detroit Pistons about 10, 12 years ago. Besides that, every other team had a legitimate top 5 NBA player on the team, whether it's Kobe, LeBron, Duncan, Dirk, Garnett, Pierce, Allen, go back to Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Jordan, Pippen, obviously. You need a superstar on your team. Celtics right now do not have that on their team. They have a lot of good players. Isaiah Thomas is a good player. They have some young good guards in Marcus Smart and Avery Bradley, and Jay Crowder is a solid player. They need a star. Chris Middleton is not a star. Gordon Hayward isn't even a star. The only way they can get that star is through free agency. If they can wait for if they can somehow convince Durant to come there or whatever it is. If not, they have to draft. You're sitting there at 3. You have, even if you think Chris Dunn can be a star, which I don't. I've seen him play a lot of Providence. I don't think he's going to be a star either. And I think that they already have that on their team. They have point guards that can't shoot that much and they're athletic. They don't really need another Chris Dunn on that team. They need a shooter sitting there with Buddy Hield right there in your lap. This guy, why can't he be a star? Why can't he turn into be a 25-point scorer in the NBA? He can score on anybody. He can shoot on anybody. He's athletic. He can defend. He can do it all. He's just a senior, and everyone's a little scared by him. And not him, there's Jamal Murray, the freshman, who's athletic, who's smooth, who can play the 1 or the 2. Those are the guys you have to draft to try to get that star. You're not going to trade this pick for Chris Middleton next year. What's going to happen? You're winning 52 games. Big deal. That's the thing about the NBA no one realizes. It's a star-driven league. It's not like football where you have a good supporting cast, where you can win with a bad quarterback even. It's not going to happen in this league. You need a star on your team, whether it's a LeBron, a Durant, a Westbrook, or eventually a Karl Anthony Towns, or eventually a Kristaps Porzingis, who I think is in that level. That's what you need to happen in this league. That's why the Celtics, I think, are making a big mistake if they don't trade that pick for a star, if they don't try to sign a star, or if not, then they sit there and draft the best available player at that position and see if that player becomes a star. Whether it's Dunn, whether it's Hield, or whether it's Murray, or even Dragon Bender if they really think that far down. Now, going on to the draft a little bit more, I'll talk about some players that I like, some players that I don't like. Some player that a lot of people, Chris Dunn, I touched upon. I saw him play a lot in college. He played for 3 years. He's got athletic ability. He can pass. He can do that. His shot's not there, but listen, that I just didn't see him dominate ever. He just didn't seem to take over games at all, and I just don't think that it's not going to change it. I think he'll be a good player in the NBA. I don't think he'd be a superstar. I really don't. But people have him up there, and I guess he should be up there, but I personally like Hilden Murray better than him. Another player people are talking about is Marquise Chris out of Washington. Now, the team that might him at 4, Phoenix, they had a player very similar to him when he was on the team. That's Amari Stoudemire in his prime before he got hurt. If you guys remember, Amari Stoudemire was a force to be reckoned with because he could shoot from any, and Chris could shoot also, and he could just dunk anything home as Chris can too. He's on that level of athleticism. It's actually my comp for him is Amari Stoudemire. I think that's his comp. I think that, if the Suns are looking trying to rebuild around Devin Booker, I think this would be a nice piece to put next to him. He's just got that ability to shoot and dunk and just do it all, and he's a good kid, good characteristic off the court. The only thing that scares you is that him and DeJounte Murray both at Washington last year, they had a bad year, and it kind of scares you. Some of these guys should be able to play better in college, but again, some guys come out of high school and they turn out to be well, so you can take that risk there. Other players is Jaylen Brown out of Cal. Now this year, I picked Cal to go all the way to the Final Four because of Jaylen Brown, and he ended up getting hurt or whatever it was, and whatever it was, he didn't get hurt, but he just had a bad first game, and they didn't make it out. He has all the ability in the world. He's probably the most, after Simmons and Ingram, he's probably the most talented player on the board. People were worried that he couldn't shoot. Supposedly, in a workout for the Celtics, he hit 75 out of 100 3-pointers, so maybe he can shoot. He's a one-on-one guard, a guy that can pretty much get a shot at all times. He's got athletic ability. He's that alpha dog scorer that you want on your team. It's just he may not be like I don't want to say as some people want to compare him to maybe Carmelo. Even he's not that level of scorer, but he has better athleticism than Carmelo might have. And at a shooting guard at 6'6", 225, his size is ideal. He does have some weaknesses, whereas he just doesn't play well sometimes, and he can get his shot can go cold, this and that, and he's not like the most premier ball handler. He can't take over a game maybe at some point, but I think talent-wise, he's the best guy there. Now, Dragon Bender, I don't know anything about internationals. Last year, I knew nothing about Porzingis also. I can't say that I do. Even if you watch a YouTube video of some guy playing in some international game, I'm not going to give you much of a synopsis of what he's going to be like. Now, on to some of the bigs in this draft. Jakob Poeltl out of Utah and Domantas Sabonis out of Gonzaga. We all see them play a lot. They're both very talented. I've been saying this for a while that I think the NBA is done with the center position. I think the center position has been taken over by guys like, you could say Karl Anthony Towns is bringing the center position back, but he could play down low and get low post up and get a shot there. But you'll see him take the ball out a lot also. Same with Anthony Davis. They'll take the ball from the top of the key and drive in. Their game is so multifaceted that you can't say they're a center. What they can do is they can protect the rim. So a center to me is a rim protector. That's what I think a center should be, a rim protector. With the Cavs, you had that in Tristan Thompson. The Warriors used pretty much Draymond Green for that category. Even when Bogut was playing, they wouldn't play him so much either. Draymond Green was their main low post, down low guy on defense also. With Poeltl and Sabonis, we like both of them is that they both can shoot. They're both, they're European big men, but they're tough and they can rebound down low. Can they protect the rim? Sabonis may be a little better than Poeltl because he's got more athletic ability, but that part of the game might be a reason why you might be a little scared to take them because they're not that Hassan Whiteside type of rim protector that you're not going to see anymore. A guy I think people will compare to Hassan Whiteside is Devontae Davis out of Michigan State. He has the crazy athletic ability, but again, he showed you nothing his first year in college. He'll come this year, but he's not going to be ready to play for another 2-3 years. And that's something that you should look at as a team. Whiteside came into the NBA not ready at all. He had to play 3 years, 3-4 years. He was nothing at all. Miami just randomly gets him last year and take a chance on him, and boom, blows up. Some of these guys take 5 years to develop, and if you're not patient for it, what's the point of drafting them? What's the point of sitting on somebody? But sorry, one second. Anyway, but besides that, other players I like in this first round area, which I think will go around here, DeJounte Murray out of Washington. He has the ability to be the best point guard in this draft, and that says a lot.